It's coming. May 12th, 2025 is not just another date you flip past on the calendar. It holds the intensity of something far greater than just time passing. It's a celestial threshold, a profound energetic pivot marked by a full moon in the deeply emotional and transformative sign of Scorpio. This is not a moment to glide through passively. It's a turning point, a mirror, and an energetic invitation all at once. And what makes this lunation especially significant is the clash, or perhaps the sacred dance, between the sun in grounded, earthy Taurus and the moon in watery, intuitive Scorpio. One seeks stability, the other demands change. One craves peace, the other stirs the shadows. And at the heart of this energetic tug-of-war is you, being asked to look inward and assess where your loyalties lie, both in the world around you and within your own soul. Full moons are known for illuminating what's been hidden, for bringing matters to a head. But when the full moon falls in Scorpio, it doesn't just light things up gently. It pierces. It reveals what's been festering in the dark. It confronts us with our own emotional truth. This isn't surface-level astrology. This is spiritual surgery. This is the moment when what's been buried finally claws its way to the surface, not to harm you, but to free you. It may not feel like liberation at first. It may feel messy, raw, uncomfortable. You might cry without understanding why. Old memories could rise like ghosts. You might feel overwhelmed by waves of emotion that defy explanation. But this is how Scorpio heals: through purging, through deep dives, through resurrection. And that's precisely what this full moon is offering you, a resurrection of the self. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, asks nothing less than total honesty and complete surrender. It demands that you shed layers that no longer serve your truth. Under this lunar light, it becomes nearly impossible to ignore what's been festering beneath the surface. Relationship patterns that once felt tolerable may suddenly become unbearable. Lies you've told yourself to keep the peace might no longer hold. Habits of avoidance or emotional suppression may become glaringly obvious. This moon doesn't just expose, it demands transformation. It asks you, are you ready to evolve, or will you continue to cling to what's crumbling? If you've been feeling restless, on edge, like you're standing on the cusp of something monumental, but can't quite see what it is, you're not imagining things. This full moon is acting as a spiritual compass, pointing you in the direction of radical self-honesty. And that process might feel like things are falling apart. But trust this, they are actually falling into place, into deeper alignment with your soul. Sleep may evade you. Dreams may feel prophetic or unusually intense. The body may hold tension, and emotions may fluctuate rapidly. These are not symptoms of instability. They're signals that your energy is recalibrating, that your inner world is shifting in response to the invitation this moon brings, to release what has decayed and to reclaim the truth of who you are becoming. There is also a very real sense of closure in the air. You might feel like something is ending, and you'd be right. Something is ending. But it's not your story. It's just a chapter that can no longer carry the weight of your new truth. Whether it's a relationship, a mindset, a fear, or even a physical tie to a place or person, you are being asked to gently lay it to rest. Grieve it if you must. Honor it for what it taught you. But know that its time has passed. In its place, something far more authentic is waiting to rise. This is a rebirth, and like all rebirths, it begins in the dark. The 2 days before and after this full moon are especially potent. You may receive insights, feel called to make bold decisions, or experience a surge of creative or spiritual energy. Don't dismiss these nudges. They are sacred whispers from your soul, aligning you with your next steps. If this message has found you now, trust that it's no accident. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, right on time for your own unfolding. Energetically, the veil between the conscious and the unconscious is thinner now. This is a powerful time for shadow work, an opportunity to sit with the parts of yourself you've been afraid to face. And here's the beauty of Scorpio's medicine. When you dare to look at your shadows, you reclaim the power they once held over you. You become whole, not because you are perfect, but because you are integrated. You stop running from the parts of yourself you once deemed unworthy or broken. You realize they were never broken, only buried. There is another layer to this full moon's influence that can't be ignored. Its connection to finances, shared resources, and material security. Scorpio rules over the hidden realms of money, debts, inheritances, investments, and shared assets. So don't be surprised if matters related to your financial world come to the forefront. Maybe it's time to face a truth about how you're managing your money. Or perhaps a hidden stream of abundance is about to surface. You might uncover a truth about a financial tie to another person, or a long-standing financial burden may finally begin to lift. Remember, Scorpio exposes what needs healing, and that includes our relationships with power, value, and worth, not just emotionally, but materially. This lunation may also uncover secrets, and not just from others, from yourself. Secrets you've kept, perhaps unconsciously, in the name of keeping the peace or avoiding discomfort. Scorpio's energy makes it increasingly difficult to pretend. You may feel called to speak a truth you've held back for too long. You may feel exposed, or want to expose something that's been weighing on you. Know this: your vulnerability is your power. This moon doesn't ask you to be fearless. It asks you to be honest. And there is nothing more powerful than a person who owns their truth with grace and authenticity. As we move deeper into the energetic field of this full moon, you might feel like you're shedding skin, because you are. You are being initiated into a new version of yourself. And as uncomfortable as that process might be, it is also profoundly beautiful. Because what is left when the illusions fall away is the raw, radiant truth of your soul. So what can you do now, in these sacred hours before and after this full moon peaks? Be still. Listen deeply. Write down what's coming up. Honor your feelings without judgment. Allow yourself to cry, to scream, to laugh, to grieve. Whatever comes up, let it come. Scorpio's energy doesn't require performance. It requires presence. Show up for yourself in a way you never have before. Offer yourself the compassion you've so often extended to others. And above all, trust this process. You are not unraveling. You are being reborn. And if you've read this far, there's something your soul needed from these words. This moment is not random. It's not accidental. It's an energetic checkpoint on your journey. You're being guided, held, and supported in ways you may not yet understand, but that doesn't make them any less real. As this full moon reaches its peak, let this be your mantra. I release what no longer serves my highest good. I trust the process of transformation. I am ready to rise. There is so much waiting for you on the other side of this moment. Don't rush through it. Feel it. Honor it. Because what you're stepping into is not just a new chapter. It's a new way of being. But the story of this full moon in Scorpio isn't solely about financial truths or material revelations. It reaches far deeper, into the core of our emotional and spiritual being. Scorpio is the zodiac's most intimate gatekeeper, ruling over sexuality, shared resources, and emotional depth. And when the full moon illuminates this shadowy territory, it's as if a cosmic spotlight is cast into the corners of our psyche we've long avoided or ignored. This is a time when the veils thin not only between worlds, but within ourselves, where the walls we've built around our hearts tremble under the moon's intense glare. Under this lunar light, deeply personal revelations may rise, some subtle, others more seismic. These aren't just passing thoughts or fleeting emotions. We're talking about long-held emotional secrets, long-forgotten pieces of your heart, and echoes from past relationships that still haunt your energetic field. There may be memories that suddenly surface without warning. Feelings you thought you had buried for good might reappear, raw and unfiltered. These are not coincidences. They are soul-level summons. The full moon in Scorpio doesn't whisper. It demands truth. It calls for full emotional transparency. This can be jarring. You may find yourself flooded with emotions that don't seem to have a logical source in the present moment. A conversation, a dream, a smell, anything could serve as a portal to something that still needs healing. This is because Scorpio's energy has the uncanny ability to detect where you're still holding on, where your energy is still entangled with the past, and where the soul has not yet been allowed to speak its truth. And the soul always remembers. For many, this emotional unveiling can be deeply healing, even if it doesn't feel easy in the moment. There is a sacredness in allowing your truth to be seen, by yourself, if no one else. There's liberation in finally confronting the shadows you've been living alongside, the parts of yourself you've kept hidden even from your own conscious awareness. The Scorpio full moon offers a potent alchemy, the kind that transforms pain into power, grief into growth, and silence into strength. But only if you're willing to walk through the fire. Scorpio doesn't offer surface-level healing. It doesn't dress wounds in glitter and move on. It insists that you feel it, that you meet yourself at the level of your deepest truth. And while this may be uncomfortable, it is also how we break free. This moon is inviting you to finally put down the emotional baggage you've been carrying, often silently, for years, maybe even decades. And when you do, something incredible happens. You make space for something new, something lighter, something more aligned with who you are now, not who you used to be. Remember, Scorpio is one of the most emotionally intense signs in the zodiac, ruled by Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. Under this moon, emotions don't just run deep. They run like underground rivers, powerful and unstoppable. Passions may flare, boundaries may be tested, and your inner world may feel as if it's being reshaped from the inside out. But this isn't chaos for the sake of chaos. It's cosmic renovation. The universe is tearing down what's no longer stable, no longer serving you, to build something far more authentic in its place. As all of this unfolds, you may also notice your intuition becoming sharper, clearer, more insistent. You might feel more sensitive than usual, not just emotionally, but energetically. You may sense things before they happen, pick up on the moods of others without a word being spoken, or find yourself suddenly understanding dynamics that used to confuse you. This heightened awareness isn't coincidental. It's Scorpio's gift. It peels back the veil between seen and unseen, logic and intuition, surface and soul. It invites you to trust what you feel, even if it doesn't yet make sense to the rational mind. In this sacred space, you may start recognizing emotional patterns that have been silently shaping your relationships, your choices, and even your self-worth. Patterns that once felt like fate may now be seen for what they are. unconscious cycles ready to be broken. There is immense power in that realization, because once you see the pattern, you can begin to change it. You can choose differently. You can reclaim your agency. And it's not just about healing the past. This full moon also sharpens your focus and stokes the fires of your inner drive. Scorpio, after all, is a fixed water sign. It knows how to commit. It knows how to dive deep and stay there until the truth is found. If you've been considering starting a creative project, exploring a new path, or stepping into a version of yourself that feels more aligned with your soul's call, this moon brings the fuel you need. It brings not just inspiration, but intensity, a soul-level passion to create something real, something that matters. You may find yourself pulled toward work that carries meaning, not just for the world, but for your heart. There's a desire now to do something that feels sacred, to pour yourself into projects that feel like they carry the essence of who you are. If you've been waiting for a sign, for the right moment to begin, this moon may just be it. Let it be your permission slip to create without fear, to express without censorship, and to lead with passion over perfection. Because Scorpio's influence is not about playing it safe, it's about being real. It blends mystery with vulnerability, intensity with authenticity. Under its spell, superficiality no longer satisfies. You may notice yourself craving deeper conversations, richer experiences, and more honest connections. You won't be interested in small talk or shallow relationships. You'll be drawn to people and experiences that challenge you to evolve, to go deeper, to show up fully as yourself. And yes, this moon may stir discomfort. Long-ignored secrets, whether emotional, financial, sexual, or relational, may be unearthed. Things you've known but avoided may become impossible to ignore. It might feel like everything is rising all at once. It might feel like too much. But none of this is random. These revelations are not meant to break you. They are meant to break you open. They are the keys that unlock the next chapter of your life, a chapter that can only begin once you've faced what lies within. This full moon is asking for your courage. It wants you to look, not away from the shadows, but directly into them. Not with fear, but with compassion, with curiosity, with the understanding that whatever is revealed now is coming into your awareness so that it can finally be healed, so that it can finally stop holding you back. This is not a punishment, it's a clearing, a soul-level exhale, a karmic release. For some, this may mean emotional confrontations long overdue. You might finally speak the truth you've held in for far too long. You may find the courage to say what your heart has been aching to express. Whether it's anger, sorrow, forgiveness, or love, Scorpio gives you the bravery to voice it. And in doing so, you liberate yourself. You unbind your spirit from the chains of silence and suppression. You rise. Old wounds, especially those tied to deep emotional bonds, family, lovers, close friends, may reappear, not to punish you, but to offer one final opportunity to release them, to truly let go. Scorpio's energy doesn't just pull things up from the depths, it transmutes them. It offers you the chance to transform your pain into wisdom, your fear into empowerment. And yes, this may mark the end of something familiar. An emotional chapter may close. A relationship may shift or dissolve. A version of yourself may fade into memory. But this is not just an ending. It is the sacred threshold of a new beginning. One that is more aligned, more authentic, more alive. One where you are no longer weighed down by what you've outgrown. Scorpio teaches us that to be reborn, something must die. Not literally, but symbolically. Old beliefs, outdated patterns, worn-out dreams, these must be surrendered so that something truer can take their place. This full moon is the fire that burns away the false, so that only what is real remains. So trust the process. Trust what is rising. Trust what is falling away. Let yourself feel it all. The grief, the rage, the relief, the hope. Every emotion has something to teach you. Every truth revealed is a doorway to more freedom, more authenticity, more love. This is your invitation to become intimate with your own soul, to meet yourself where you are, raw, unguarded, and ready. Ready to rise from the ashes of what was into the luminous truth of what can be. With this full moon, we step into a sacred threshold, a space between what has been and what is yet to come. There is a powerful, almost magnetic invitation to pause, reflect, and allow something old within us to dissolve. This moment isn't just about releasing what no longer serves us in a conceptual sense. It's about stepping into an emotional and spiritual detox, where the soul begins to shake free from outdated beliefs, worn-out stories, and emotional wounds that have long shaped the contours of who we believe we are. And though this process may not be visible to the naked eye, it is deeply felt in the heart, the body, the breath, the dreams, and the very fabric of your inner world. This full moon opens a door to profound spiritual renewal, asking us to surrender not just the pain that is easy to name, but also the pain we've normalized, the kind of heaviness we've carried for so long, we've forgotten it was ever a burden. The beliefs we inherited or absorbed, ones that kept us playing small or holding ourselves back. These may show up now in subtle but undeniable ways, as a sudden clarity, a wave of emotion, a memory resurfacing that you didn't expect, or a deep sense that something has reached its expiration point. And this isn't about abandonment, it's about liberation, about shedding layers not because they were wrong, but because you've outgrown them. Scorpio's presence during this moon amplifies the depth of this emotional work. As a water sign ruled by Pluto, Scorpio asks us to dive beneath the surface of things. It draws our attention to the spaces within us that are rarely seen, the places we protect with walls and silence. This is a sign that governs transformation, not in the light and fluffy sense, but in the kind of soul alchemy that is forged in intensity, passion, and truth. Scorpio energy doesn't ask for polite healing. It demands honesty. It calls forth your rawest self, the one who has cried in silence, loved fiercely, felt betrayed, feared rejection, longed for something more. This is where true healing begins, in the gritty, beautiful honesty of your inner world. During this full moon, some of the more difficult emotions we tend to avoid, resentment, jealousy, regret, anger, may come to the surface. These are not signs that something is wrong. Rather, they are invitations. When these emotions rise, they are asking to be acknowledged, not suppressed. Scorpio teaches us that shadow work isn't about fixing ourselves, but understanding ourselves more deeply. That rage, that sorrow, that bitterness, each has a story to tell, a part of you that wants to be heard. And while the temptation might be to direct these feelings outward, to blame or seek retribution, there is far greater wisdom in turning inward and witnessing the truth with compassion. Often we punish ourselves more than anyone else ever could. We carry guilt like armor. We hold ourselves hostage to old mistakes or perceived failures. This moon brings a chance to stop the cycle of self-punishment, to look at where we've turned our own pain against ourselves. Being radically honest doesn't mean being harsh. It means being willing to sit with your truth and love yourself anyway. To recognize the parts of you that hurt and choose to embrace them instead of abandon them. In that space of deep, raw self-acceptance, true healing begins. This is also a deeply sensual moon, tied to Scorpio's innate connection to sexuality, desire, and the hidden parts of our being. Under this influence, suppressed feelings may rise to the surface. Old wounds tied to intimacy, unspoken longings, or parts of your sensuality that you've denied or repressed. There is something sacred in this unveiling, something healing in allowing yourself to feel without censorship. You may find yourself reconnecting to desires you thought were long gone, or finally acknowledging truths about your needs, your body, your emotional vulnerability. There's courage in this openness, and it brings a pathway toward deeper intimacy, not only with others, but with yourself. Sexuality under Scorpio's lens isn't merely physical. It's energetic, emotional, and spiritual. It's about where you merge with another, where you lose yourself and find yourself simultaneously. It's about power, vulnerability, and the places where your boundaries are both tested and refined. If secrets come to light now about your desires, your past, your truth, know that it is part of your rebirth. Let them come. Let them breathe. This isn't a time to hide. It's a time to reveal, release, and reclaim. Pluto, Scorpio's ruling planet, brings with it the themes of destruction, transformation, and regeneration. It asks us to let things end so that we can be reborn, not once, but again and again. This kind of transformation rarely feels neat or orderly. It can be chaotic, emotional, messy, but it is deeply, profoundly necessary. And under this full moon, Pluto's influence is amplified. If you feel like something is falling apart, remember, it may actually be falling into place. The structure is shifting, yes, but it's not breaking you. It's breaking you open. This transformation doesn't skim the surface. It digs deep, unearthing the stories buried in your bones, the grief you've carried for lifetimes, the patterns that keep repeating, the relationships that have mirrored your wounds and your healing. And yes, you may grieve what you are leaving behind. That grief is valid, it is holy, but it is not a stop, it is a passage. On the other side of that sorrow is clarity, strength, a new self that is no longer weighed down by what used to define you. The phoenix doesn't just burn, it rises, and so will you. What makes this full moon even more potent is its harmonious alignment with both Pluto and Saturn. Pluto gives Scorpio its edge, its emotional depth, its passion, its ability to resurrect. But Saturn, often feared for its rigid reputation, brings an unexpected gift: emotional endurance. Where Pluto asks you to feel deeply, Saturn helps you stay steady while doing so. This combination is incredibly powerful for emotional work. It means that while you may be diving into intense waters, you are not adrift. You have the inner tools to stay grounded, to take what you feel and channel it into something lasting and meaningful. This is a moon that doesn't just ask you to feel, it asks you to do something with those feelings, to use them as creative fuel, to transform pain into wisdom, to take responsibility for your healing in a way that is loving and empowered. Saturn's energy reminds you that the most enduring change happens not in bursts of inspiration, but in sustained devotion. In the willingness to show up for yourself day after day with tenderness and discipline. Adding another layer to this celestial story is the presence of Chariklo, a lesser-known but profoundly spiritual celestial body. Named after the wise and gentle nymph associated with healing and sacred transitions, Chariklo brings a quieter, yet equally powerful energy to this full moon. Her presence is like a soft whisper in the storm, a reminder that transformation doesn't always require drama. Sometimes it's the quiet shifts that move mountains. Sometimes it's the stillness that changes everything. Chariklo's energy helps you navigate this emotional terrain with grace. She encourages a kind of sacred presence, a spiritual steadiness that allows you to witness your own unraveling without fear. Her influence is not loud or forceful, it's subtle like the tide, but just as powerful. She invites you to trust the process, to find serenity amidst chaos, and to believe in your own evolution, even when the path is unclear. Chariklo teaches us that strength isn't just in the breakthrough. It's in the patience, the surrender, the quiet courage to keep going. Through Chariklo, this full moon also becomes a moment of spiritual recalibration, a time to come back to yourself, to center not just your mind or your emotions, but your soul, to reconnect with your inner compass and find direction, even when the map has changed. Her energy encourages you to treat yourself gently during this time of release, to soften your expectations, to rest if needed, and to remember that healing is not a race, it's a rhythm, one that you are allowed to move through at your own pace. So here, under this luminous and emotionally charged full moon, you are being asked to go inward, not to escape the world, but to meet yourself more honestly within it. To let go of what weighs heavy on your spirit, to face your shadows not with fear, but with curiosity. To allow grief to wash through you and clarity to rise in its place. To honor the sensual, emotional, spiritual being that you are, and to allow yourself to transform. This full moon is not just a closing, it is an awakening, a reckoning, a rebirth. And while it may challenge you, it also supports you. Every planetary force at play is aligning to help you not only survive your inner storm, but to come out of it clearer, wiser, and more fully yourself. Let the light of this moon illuminate what's been hidden. Let it guide you through the dark and remind you that even in the most intense emotional depths, you are not lost. You are becoming. As Chariklo forms a tense alignment with the moon, a subtle but profound energetic doorway begins to open. This alignment doesn't come gently. It nudges, it prods, and it confronts. It brings discomfort not for the sake of chaos, but as an invitation to evolution. In this dance between the nurturing light of the moon and the boundary-holding energy of Chariklo, we are called to move beyond our habitual reactions. We're asked to soften into presence rather than erupt into reactivity, to breathe before we speak, to pause before we judge, and to feel before we flee. The intensity may rise, but within that pressure is an opportunity to choose clarity over confusion, compassion over conflict, and alignment over distortion. This is a moment when you are being invited to deepen your relationship with yourself. Instead of getting lost in the emotional waves that may come crashing through, you're being guided to stand still in the center of your being, to become aware of your inner ground. And it's here, in this inner stillness, that you begin to realize something extraordinary. Peace and passion can coexist. You don't have to silence your feelings to find serenity. You don't have to mute your emotional depth to discover balance. In fact, the path to true inner peace often leads through the very heart of your emotional truth. This full moon, falling on May 12th, is not just another lunar event. It is a sacred threshold, a cosmic passageway. The moon, amplified by the deep magnetic energy of Scorpio, shines a revealing light into the hidden corners of your psyche. Scorpio doesn't shy away from the dark. It dives in. It unearths what has been buried, exposes what has been denied, and brings to the surface the very things we'd rather keep in shadow. But this isn't a punishment, it's a liberation. With Chariklo's quiet, stabilizing presence, there's a new kind of alchemy at play. Chariklo's energy speaks of holding space with grace, of healing not by fixing, but by witnessing, gently and without judgment. This fusion of energies asks you not to choose between feeling and peace, but to allow both to live within you. It invites you to remember that real strength doesn't come from suppression, but from integration. It's about becoming the container that can hold it all. The joy and the sorrow, the clarity and the confusion, the love and the loss. This full moon is a mirror, reflecting your capacity to evolve by embracing every part of who you are. As the emotional energy swells, it's vital to stay grounded in awareness. You may feel the temptation to react, especially if old wounds are triggered or long-held frustrations begin to surface. But this is where the magic lies, in your power to respond rather than react. Observe yourself gently. Breathe into the tension rather than pushing it away. This is a time to listen deeply, not just to others, but to your own inner voice. Listen to your body's whispers, to your soul's nudges, to the intuitive signals that come in the quiet moments. The universe is speaking softly right now, not in grand declarations, but in subtle synchronicities, in gentle confirmations, in the seemingly random signs that show up exactly when you need them. This full moon whispers a sacred message. It's time to recreate yourself. This isn't just about releasing something outdated. It's about stepping into a more aligned, expanded version of your soul. Think of this moment as a cosmic reset. The energy is not simply shifting, it is transforming. And if your frequency is already rising, if you've been doing the inner work, if you've been listening, healing, and growing, then you're already feeling it. You might not be able to explain it logically, but something inside you just knows. Change is here. You might have begun to notice more synchronicities, those little cosmic winks that seem too timely to be coincidence. Perhaps you're seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, 333, or even 555, often appearing when you're thinking about a big decision, or just when you need a reminder that you're not alone. These aren't random. They are energy markers, signposts from the universe letting you know that you're in alignment, that the path ahead is opening. And this message is especially potent for those who are attuned to these frequencies. Because this full moon isn't only about release, it's about resurrection. The rebirth of your most authentic self. The emergence of your truth after months or even years of silencing, compromising, or shrinking to fit a world that didn't always see your light. But now, your light can no longer be dimmed. This is a moment for you to rise, to reclaim the parts of yourself you've left behind, to call your power back home. You may find yourself stumbling upon a message, a song, a quote, a video, something small, something unexpected, and yet something that hits you right in the heart. Suddenly, tears rise without warning. Your body shivers. A lump forms in your throat. It's as if the universe itself has paused to let you know. Yes, this is real. Yes, you're on the right track. Yes, you are seen. That feeling is sacred. It's validation, and you deserve it. There's a tenderness in the air right now, an emotional sensitivity that might feel both beautiful and overwhelming. Perhaps you found yourself feeling things more deeply. A song that once made you smile now makes you weep. A conversation lingers with you long after it's over. You notice the energy in a room before you even speak to anyone. People's facial expressions seem to communicate entire stories, and your empathy runs so high that it's almost hard to tell where your feelings end and others begin. This isn't weakness, it's awakening. Your intuition is sharpening. Your soul is tuning itself to higher frequencies, and with that comes a new level of emotional depth. It may feel like a burden at times, but it's also a gift, a beautiful, sacred responsibility. And yes, your body might be speaking in its own language as well. You may have experienced waves of exhaustion, odd physical sensations like sudden headaches, throat tightness, body aches, or even a strange sense of time warping, like the days are speeding up and slowing down all at once. You may wake from a full night's sleep feeling more tired than when you went to bed. You may feel emotionally tender for no reason. These are all signs of energetic recalibration. Your physical vessel is catching up to the spiritual upgrades you've been receiving. Old energy is being purged. Outdated beliefs, trauma stored in the body, emotional patterns. It's all being brought to the surface so it can finally be released. Don't judge yourself for needing more rest. Don't push yourself to be more productive in the traditional sense. Right now, your most valuable work is the work of alignment, of listening to your soul's needs, of saying no when your energy says no, even if your mind says yes, of choosing peace over performance, of honoring your body's rhythms. This is what healing looks like. It's messy, non-linear, and deeply personal. So let this full moon be your reminder that you are in the middle of something sacred. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are transforming. You are rising. You are awakening into the truth of who you are meant to be. And that kind of transformation doesn't happen without a little friction, without a few tears, without some letting go. Let go of the belief that you have to have it all figured out. Let go of the urge to control every outcome. Let go of the fear that says you're not ready. You are ready. You've been preparing for this. Not just in this lifetime, but through lifetimes before. Your soul chose to be here for this very moment, for this awakening, this collective shift, this return to truth. So light a candle, take a breath, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes and ask your soul what it needs right now. Whatever answer you receive, honor it. This is not a time for doubting your intuition. This is a time for trusting your inner knowing like never before. Let the full moon illuminate not only what must be released, but also what is waiting to be reclaimed. Let the energy of Chariklo hold you in a sacred embrace as you move through your emotions with grace. And most of all, let yourself believe that something beautiful is being born within you, even if you can't see it just yet. Your dreams have likely taken on a more vivid, symbolic, and emotionally charged quality lately, an experience that may feel both mysterious and strangely familiar. These aren't mere flickers of imagination or the chaotic residue of your day. They are, in truth, messengers from deep within. When ex-lovers reappear, when childhood memories resurface in fragmented whispers, when you find yourself reliving old scenarios that haven't crossed your mind in years, you're not simply dreaming, you're remembering. You're being guided. This is your soul, stirred by the profound energy of the Scorpio full moon, bringing unresolved emotions and past entanglements up from the shadows so that they can finally be seen, felt, and healed. Scorpio's influence, especially as it builds toward the full moon on May 12th, acts like a spiritual excavator. It digs deep into the layers of your subconscious, unearthing what has long been buried. Old pain, past heartbreaks, unresolved anger, forgotten joy, and truths you may have suppressed to protect yourself. This full moon doesn't approach softly. It dives straight into the depth of your inner ocean, encouraging you to witness yourself in full truth, even the parts you've tried to hide. That's why your dreams feel more potent, more alive, more like portals than ever before. They aren't just experiences of the night. They are rituals in disguise, designed to awaken you. If you've ever awoken from a recent dream thinking, "That meant something," you were right. There's a growing intelligence to your dreamscape now, a divine intentionality. You're not being haunted by the past. You're being offered a key to unlock it. And through that unlocking, you're given the rare opportunity to transform what once weighed you down into something that can lift you. You may have also noticed a subtle but undeniable shift in your relationship with nature. The sky seems to call to you with greater urgency. The trees feel like companions rather than background scenery. Even the presence of birds or the sound of the wind seems to whisper something ancient and sacred. You're not imagining it. This isn't just a poetic phase. It's a sign of your energy syncing with the natural rhythms of the earth. Full moons, especially Scorpio ones, open the energetic field between you and the natural world. They tune your frequency so that you begin to remember your original connection to the earth, a bond that many of us have forgotten in the noise of modern life. Nature, in its own quiet wisdom, mirrors your transformation. The cycles of the moon, the shedding of leaves, the blooming of wildflowers, the migration of animals, these are not random. They're expressions of energy evolving, flowing, releasing, and returning. And now you're beginning to move in harmony with these cycles again. This reconnection is sacred. It reminds you that you're not separate from the earth. You are it. And as your own frequency rises, your intuitive sensitivity to these patterns increases. You feel more alive because you are more aligned. Simultaneously, there's a growing fire inside you, a creative one. Even if it hasn't fully formed into something tangible yet, you can sense it stirring. Maybe it's an impulse to write, to paint, to dance, to sing, or to share your story in a way you never have before. Don't dismiss it as a fleeting whim. This is your soul waking up to its purpose. The same energy that is resurfacing old wounds is also unlocking dormant gifts. It's part of the alchemy. Scorpio doesn't just strip away. It reveals buried treasures. And among the greatest treasures it can uncover is your creative voice. Not the version you've been taught to present to the world, but the one that's raw, unfiltered, and undeniably yours. You're stepping into new creative energy because you're not the same person you were. The spiritual shifts occurring within you are rewiring your perception, your emotions, and your sense of possibility. You are being called to create from this new place, not just as a hobby or a passion, but as a declaration of your transformation. This is your inner phoenix rising. Creativity, when channeled from a soul-aligned place, becomes a tool of healing and empowerment. What you create in this time has the potential to not only elevate you, but to ripple outward and inspire others. Everything you're feeling, the heightened dreams, the emotional currents, the pull toward nature, the fire of creation, all of it is a sign that you're already tuned into the energy of the approaching Scorpio full moon. And this moon is not just another phase in the sky. It's a sacred invitation. Scorpio moons are about unveiling what's hidden, not to shame or overwhelm you, but to return you to the truth of who you are. Under this moon, shadows are not enemies, they are teachers. They point to the places within you that are ready to evolve. This full moon energy might feel intense, even overwhelming at times. That's not a sign that something is wrong. That's a sign that something is waking up. Full moons act like mirrors, and Scorpio's mirror is especially sharp. It shows you the rawest reflection. It may ask you to feel more deeply than you're used to. It may pull you into a moment of confrontation with your past, your pain, your desires, or your fears. But none of this is to punish you. It's to elevate you. The only way out of the heaviness is through it, and Scorpio will walk with you every step of the way if you allow it. If this message resonates deeply, let it move through you. Speak it aloud, not just for yourself, but as a signal to the universe. Declare, "I am ready." This simple phrase becomes a vow, an energetic contract, a portal. When you say you are ready, you're not claiming that you have it all figured out. You're simply saying that you are open to the transformation, open to healing, open to remembering who you are beneath the layers of fear, shame, and doubt. And that openness is enough to shift everything. But perhaps you're wondering, what is this full moon truly here to do for me? What is its deeper purpose beyond emotional waves and spiritual metaphors? The truth is, full moons have long been honored across cultures and civilizations, not just for their light in the sky, but for their light within the soul. The Egyptians performed moon ceremonies to receive divine downloads. The Mayans used full moons as portals for spiritual visions. Tibetan monks understood full moons as days of heightened consciousness. Anatolian shamans gathered under the moon to heal, grieve, and reclaim lost parts of the spirit. These rituals weren't random. They were tuned into something we're only beginning to remember again. That the moon is more than a rock in the sky. It is a vessel of cosmic timing, offering us moments to reset, to reflect, and to rise. This particular full moon in Scorpio is not a time to chase desires or set goals. It's a time to meet your truth. Scorpio asks you to look within and examine what's real. What are you still holding on to that is weighing you down? What do you fear will come up if you sit in silence? What desires have you buried under the rubble of your past disappointments? What parts of your story are still asking to be heard, honored, or rewritten? The medicine of this full moon is transformation through surrender. It's about allowing the energy to wash over you and carry away what you no longer need. You don't have to understand it all or map out the next step. You simply have to be present with what is rising within you. Whether it's grief, clarity, sadness, inspiration, longing, forgiveness, or joy, it's all sacred. It's all part of the rebirth. This full moon doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for presence. Be with yourself. Listen. Feel. Let the past rise and fall away. Let your emotions move like waves. Intense, yes, but purposeful. Each one carving away what no longer belongs, revealing the soul beneath. You are not broken. You are becoming. And this full moon is a mirror showing you how far you've already come. Even the fact that you're noticing these changes, these dreams, emotions, connections, and inspirations, means you're already deep in the process. You don't have to force anything, just allow. Trust that this energy, as intense as it may be, is leading you exactly where you're meant to go. So as the Scorpio full moon rises on May 12th, let it rise within you too. Let it illuminate what's true, what's ready to be healed, and what's waiting to be created. Let yourself feel it fully and know that you are not alone in this journey. The universe is with you. The earth is guiding you. Your soul is awakening, and the moon is shining to remind you that even in darkness, there is always light. And here's the truth you need to hear. You're not walking this path by yourself anymore. The Scorpio full moon rising on May 12th, 2025, arrives with an unprecedented alliance of cosmic heavyweights, Pluto and Saturn, ready to support you in every nook and cranny of your life. Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, pours its cleansing waters deep into your psyche, dissolving the patterns, fears, and outdated beliefs that have held you captive. At the same time, Saturn, the great teacher and architect of form, stands by your side to rebuild the framework of your world in alignment with your highest truth. It's not enough to simply feel a shift. This alignment will reshape the very scaffolding of your being so that the new you has solid roots to grow from. Imagine this moment as an alchemical crucible. Under the purifying glow of the full moon, you'll be invited into a sacred space where everything that no longer resonates with your soul's frequency is quietly but irrevocably stripped away. What emerges from that process is not a fragile butterfly, but a phoenix, forged through fire and water, solid in its resolve, and blazing with the light of authenticity. You won't merely feel renewed, you will be reborn. But there is yet another companion in this transformative constellation. Chariklo, a centaur whose name rings with the vibrations of deep healing, intuitive guidance, and conscious awakening. When Chariklo graces our night sky, she offers a hush of serenity amid the tumult. A gentle reminder that even the fiercest inner work carries within it the seed of profound peace. If you have felt, in the last weeks or months, a subtle undercurrent of calm washing over your mind like a gentle tide, that is Chariklo whispering, "Surrender, trust the unfolding." Where Pluto implodes and Saturn rebuilds, Chariklo's presence soothes, guiding you to listen inwardly and receive the quiet certainties of your heart. Let us pause to consider the significance of May 12th, 2025. Not merely as a date circling the pages of a calendar, but as a portal of sacred numerology and archetypal meaning. The number 12 threads through every major spiritual tradition, 12 zodiac signs mapping out the human psyche, 12 sacred disciples embodying the journey of initiation, 12 chakras charting the energy centers of body and spirit. Each cycle of 12 gestures toward completion and renewal. It signals the close of one grand cosmic cycle and the threshold of another. When this full moon aligns precisely with that numerological vibration, it becomes not just a luminary event in the heavens, but a declaration from the universe itself. The time for rebirth is at hand. Within you, a question stirs, tapping gently at the door of your soul. Are you truly willing to release the mask that you've worn so long? Beneath that question lies another, more potent. Do you dare to reclaim the spark of your authentic self? Perhaps you've hidden your deepest longings in the shadows, fearing they would be too wild or too vulnerable to voice. Perhaps you've folded parts of your spirit into neat compartments, buried grief, quieted rage, concealed desires, so that life could run more smoothly. And yet, each fragment locked away drains a measure of your aliveness. The Scorpio full moon's penetrating beam shines directly into those hidden chambers, inviting you to open them, to let the light flood in, and to witness what has been waiting patiently to be set free. Scorpio's energy does not negotiate from the outside. It radiates insistently from the core of your being. It calls you, in this moment, to sit with your own reflection in still water, to feel the cool undercurrent of truth ripple through your awareness. It asks you to write down what curls in the back of your mind. The fears that whisper you're not enough, the wounds that still ache beneath polite smiles, the dreams you've been too timid to admit out loud. Then to gaze at these words without judgment, acknowledging them as raw material for your metamorphosis rather than as chains to your past. Each revelation you bring into the light becomes a stepping stone on the path to wholeness. You will find that genuine power springs from vulnerability. When you claim your unspoken story, you reclaim the energy it once consumed. This process is not a fleeting ritual. It is a passage through which you ascend into your fullest expression. And as you say the words, "I am ready," the universe will start weaving fresh possibilities into the tapestry of your life. Transformation, though, is never a solitary project. It requires tools, anchors, and rituals to hold your intentions steady. In the days leading up to the full moon, you might light a candle infused with frankincense or myrrh, inviting their ancient fragrance to open doors in your psyche. You could fill a bowl with clear water and scatter rose petals on the surface, placing it on your altar or windowsill to absorb lunar rays. Then, come moonrise, sip a blessed drop as a pledge to yourself. Journaling by candlelight. You might write letters to parts of your soul you wish to honor and release, knowing you will burn those letters afterward, releasing their charge to the flames. Grounding will be equally vital under Saturn's guidance. Walk barefoot in the grass or soil, letting the Earth's stabilizing force anchor your new structures. Breathe deeply into your belly, feeling each inhale infuse you with clarity, each exhale wash away lingering doubt. Move your body in ways that honor its intelligence, through yoga, dance, or gentle stretches, reminding yourself that your physical vessel is as sacred as your spiritual fire. This lunar event will ripple through every domain of your life, including your finances. Scorpio energy, when harnessed consciously, strips away fear-based patterns around money, scarcity mindsets, self-sabotaging habits, hidden anxieties about worthiness. Under this moon's influence, you might find yourself envisioning bold steps toward abundance, releasing old budgetary restraints that no longer serve your vision, daring to invest in your creative gifts, or finally claiming that promotion, project, or partnership you've long dreamed of. As Saturn builds your new foundations, you will feel more secure in taking the strategic risks that lead to lasting prosperity. And then, when night falls on May 12th, when the full moon blazes in Scorpio's throne, there will be a moment of profound stillness. In that hush, let your heart open like a blossoming flower, receiving the promise of the transformation you have set into motion. Feel the solidity of your new container, the invincible stamina of your spirit, and the luminous essence of your truth emerging into full view. As the Sacred Promises team, we whisper to you across the cosmic currents, the true alchemy you seek is unfolding now. This Scorpio full moon is not simply a phase of the sky. It is your personal initiation into a larger destiny. Trust in the power of Pluto's purge, in Saturn's structure, and in Chariklo's gentle guidance. Let the numerology of 12 remind you that endings and beginnings are two faces of the same coin. And above all, hold the question that matters most. Are you ready? If you are, and we believe you are, then step forward without hesitation. The moon's vibrant light will illuminate every step of your journey into a life reborn. For those of you still here, standing in the glow of this sacred moment, we honor your presence and the courage you bring to your spiritual journey. It's no accident that you've found your way here. There is ancient wisdom calling to you, carried through the ages and shared with us by revered astrologers and sacred texts. These teachings are timeless, profound, and most importantly, they are for you. The energy of the Scorpio full moon is a powerful and transformative force, one that invites deep cleansing and renewal. It's not just a lunar event, it's a cosmic opportunity for deep healing. Scorpio, a water sign, is intricately connected with the emotional and spiritual realms. Water, in all its forms, carries a unique energy of purification and release. It's the essence of transformation, and it offers us an invitation to release the old and make way for the new. This isn't just physical cleansing, it's a spiritual reset, a chance to shed the layers that no longer serve you. Begin by connecting with water in the most direct way possible. One of the simplest but most profound rituals you can practice is to take a mindful shower. Feel the warmth of the water as it flows over you, and as it touches your skin, visualize it washing away the old energy, the emotional heaviness, and the burdens that no longer belong to you. This isn't just about getting clean physically, it's about shedding the emotional weight you've carried for too long. Allow the water to cleanse you, to clear the path for new energy to enter your life. If possible, seek out a natural body of water, be it a river, a lake, or the ocean. Stand at the edge, feeling the coolness of the water on your feet, and connect with its powerful rhythm. Let it take from you the things you are ready to release. This is a moment of sacred exchange, where the water accepts your offerings and helps you begin anew. The Scorpio full moon calls you to face yourself with honesty, a challenge that many of us shy away from. But in truth, there is no greater gift than the one we give ourselves when we acknowledge our deepest truths. Scorpio rules the depths of emotion, the parts of ourselves that we often keep hidden out of fear or shame. Under this full moon, you are invited to bring those parts of yourself into the light. Take a moment of stillness. Find a quiet space where you can sit undisturbed. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what have I been hiding from? What emotions have I been avoiding? These questions may stir feelings you've long pushed aside, but don't run from them. Allow the emotions to rise within you. If tears flow, let them. Crying is not a sign of weakness. It is a powerful act of release, a necessary step toward healing. Trust that this emotional outpouring is the cleansing your soul has been craving. Another powerful area where the Scorpio full moon's energy can work in your favor is with your relationship to abundance. If you've been holding on to limiting beliefs or patterns regarding money, this is the perfect time to release them. Money, like water, is an energy, something that flows in and out of your life. When you hold on to fear or scarcity, you block that flow. So, take a piece of paper and write down all your fears and limiting beliefs about money. Start with the phrase, "My fears about money are," and let it flow from your mind to your pen. Don't hold back. When you've finished, safely burn the paper. As the flames consume your words, know that you are energetically clearing the path for abundance to flow freely into your life. This small, simple act is symbolic, yet powerful. It is your declaration to the universe that you are ready for a shift, ready to step into a new, abundant mindset. The energy of this full moon is urgent. There is a sense of pressure and inspiration combined. You may feel pushed to make decisions, to act on things you've been avoiding. Don't ignore this feeling. It's a cosmic nudge, urging you to step forward into your power. The Scorpio full moon doesn't want you to wait for the perfect moment. It calls you to take small steps, to make the decisions you've been putting off. Finish that project. Have that difficult conversation. Make that choice that has been weighing on your heart. The time is now. Procrastination can no longer hold you back. This is a moment of action, of momentum, and it's one that can change the course of your life. As you engage with these transformative energies, take time to deepen your spiritual connection. Even a brief meditation can bring you into alignment with the higher frequencies available right now. Focus your attention on the space between your eyebrows, your third eye chakra. This center governs your intuition, and under the light of the Scorpio full moon, it is especially open and receptive. In those quiet moments before sleep, step outside and stand under the moonlight. Gaze up at the moon and whisper, "I am ready." This is a simple but profound prayer, a message to the universe that you are prepared for what's to come, for the transformation that awaits. Another important step in this process is clearing your physical space. Our environments hold energy, and when that energy becomes stagnant, it can block our own flow. Walk through your home with intention, carrying incense or burning sage. Focus on mirrors and doorways, which are energetic gateways. Let the smoke clear away any lingering negativity. This process of cleansing isn't just about making your home look neat. It's a deep, energetic purge that allows fresh energy to enter. Afterward, use calming essential oils like lavender to bring balance to your energy field. Remember, this isn't just a physical tidying, it's an energetic one, a vital step in preparing yourself to receive the new. Finally, stand before the mirror and ask yourself, who do I want to be from this moment forward? The Scorpio full moon invites you to release the masks you've been wearing. Masks shaped by societal expectations, family pressures, or outdated versions of yourself. This is a moment of profound self-realization. In the silence of your own heart, make a promise to yourself. From now on, you choose to live in alignment with your authentic self. You choose to live truthfully, unapologetically, and fully. That promise is a powerful declaration. It's a vow that the universe will honor. This full moon isn't just another celestial event. It is a spiritual awakening that echoes through the fabric of time. The energies of the cosmos are not distant from you. They are working with you, through you. The planets, the stars, the moon, they are activating your higher self, awakening your inner guides, and tuning your awareness to the greater universal plan. This full moon is a gateway to your highest potential. It's not simply about shifting your mindset, it's about transforming on a deep, cellular level. The Scorpio full moon has the power to help you release outdated patterns, emotional wounds, limiting beliefs, and even physical symptoms tied to energetic blocks. Right now, the cosmic energies are calling you to step into a higher version of yourself. This is a chance to embrace 5D consciousness, an expanded state of awareness where you live in harmony with the universe. This shift is not just mental, it's an embodied transformation. This full moon is a portal, a chance to release everything that no longer resonates with your true path and birth a new version of yourself. As you move forward, know that this isn't just about one night or one phase of the moon. The changes you begin now will echo throughout your life. The Scorpio full moon is a powerful ally in your journey of self-discovery, healing, and transformation. Trust that the energies at play are leading you toward your most authentic self, the version of you that is aligned with your deepest truth. Thank you for joining us in this sacred space. If this message has resonated with you, share it with someone you love. Together we rise, together we heal, and together we step into the fullness of our being. May this full moon bring you peace, clarity, and the courage to step into the next chapter of your soul's journey.